Hello and welcome to Ex-Witness Awake. I am your host, Jonathan. Welcome to part 2 of the September broadcast commentary or edit or whatever you want to call it. If you didn't catch the first part, I released that a few days ago, and please check it out. This one is probably going to be a little shorter because while the broadcast was, about an hour long, and that was about the half-hour mark or so, this part doesn't have quite as much interesting stuff to go on, so this is mostly going to be me ragging on it. And I may have to actually cut out part of it because of copyright issues with their original songs and stuff. But anyway, I do appreciate you showing up, and let's run the old introduction. Oh, hold up. And you know the drill. I'm working, so, it's going to be this way and that and the other. Enjoy. Okay, so this next part you're about to see is their segment for the teens, the cool teens. They got to be hip and trendy and all that stuff. The interview style, blogger style. So all I got to say about this one is most transition sounds ever.
Unfortunately, as our children grow and attend school, many face a modern scourge, bullying. How can they overcome the fear and negative feelings that being bullied causes? We'll listen to 2 of our teenagers share what worked for them in this edition of My Teen Life.
So here's something I want you to take notice in this next part. If you think about the situation that shunned people are in, this is like a checklist of how they feel. And that's being brought out by the society when it comes to these people who are being bullied. So what do you think shunning is, in a sense? It's bullying. But check it out.
My experience with bullying ultimately started in physical education with this kid who shared a locker a few spaces away from me, took that opportunity and started to verbally attack me.
I first experienced bullying in elementary school, but it was little stuff, nothing too big. In middle school is when it was really, really something. It was upsetting that I was being bullied. It made me feel like I was doing something wrong. Why did I have to be the target?
It got really personal. He'd call me names. He would say that, I wasn't good at anything. No one cared about me, that I was dumb, that I was weak. Especially after he found out that I was a witness, then the text just got even more intense.
There was one day specifically that was really bad. It started in a classroom. I heard one girl talk to another girl about me right in front of me, and these were lies. We went to lunch and I was cornered again. Is this how middle school is going to be? I don't have anybody to be with, to hang out with during school because everybody doesn't like me. I felt no one liked me. It was the worst day ever.
I no longer felt that I was valuable at that point. I was starting to feel more that I was this weak person, that I was defenseless, and that no one cared about me, and that I was worthless to anybody. So hearing that over and over really took a toll on my mental health and my emotional health. I think at my lowest point after receiving so many of these vicious attacks, I started to have really, really dark feelings, and I realized that I shouldn't let this go any further than it already is. That was the moment when I knew I had to get help.
I told my parents about it, of course, and especially on the worst day, I told them everything. My parents always brought up scriptures, Proverbs 27:12. Anytime I saw the bullies, I would avoid as much as possible. Another thing that I was always doing was praying constantly, always praying. before school, during school, after school. There are times when I would go into the library and just read books, just stay to myself. During those times, I would also pray to Jehovah, and he was a friend to me. He was somebody that I could speak to on this matter.
I did end up talking to my parents about it. They let me get my side of the story out. They were listening and they wanted to help out, and they made me feel loved. I definitely took this time to reach out to the elders, and they really encouraged me and assured me that I was not only somewhere where I was needed, I was also somewhere where I was wanted. I took some practical steps. I moved my locker. I made sure not to retaliate. Walking away is something very powerful. Retaliation is something that's weak because you're giving in to your emotions and you're just lashing out. Eventually, the bully got suspended, which gave me some peace. He ended up coming back after a week, and he started up again with the attack. I noticed that he hadn't changed at all, but I had. I was much more confident. With that change, I began to fear him less. I wasn't scared of him. I just saw him as this person who wanted attention from me.
All the principles that you read about, whether young people ask, scriptures that you pick out, everything really, really helps. And you can either see the situation die down, or it's not as bad, you can deal with it, or it just stops. And it was so encouraging for me, and it helped strengthen my faith in seeing how Jehovah really is there to help.
Don't keep this to yourself. Don't bottle it up, because that'll make things worse. This is a problem that won't go away because you ignore it. You need to talk to someone. Talk to your parents, talk to your friend, talk to Jehovah, talk to someone in the congregation. Because if you don't know what to do, they'll help you find out what to do, and they'll give you guidance. And you'll be so impressed by how much Jehovah takes care of you, and he'll show you that you are loved by him.
Do you notice how much of these segments tug on your heartstrings because they change the music? I betcha you could use any old thing and change the music, and suddenly you're going to have the same sort of feelings about this sad story, like this. As somebody that works at night, it can be very challenging to deal with the schedule, and sometimes you just get hungry. It's the middle of the night, but to you, it's the middle of your day. So I remember there was this one time when I wanted to get something to eat at McDonald's, but it was that time in between the days when the 24-hour McDonald's are actually closed, and I couldn't purchase something from McDonald's. It was a real challenge. So I went to a different location, and they were closed too. And I thought, am I ever going to eat again? But thankfully, I waited 15 minutes, and they opened up for the day again, and it all worked out. So sometimes you just gotta have faith that it's gonna be okay. So do you see how you can take something that's not serious at all and turn it into a real tearjerker moment? Yeah, it's manipulation.
You are loved by Jehovah. So if you're suffering at the hands of a bully, don't bottle it up. You are not alone. Talk to your parents. It won't go away if you ignore it. But Jehovah can help you face up to bullies, and you can trust Bible principles because they always work.
So here, Stephen Lett is talking about bullying. This is that segment's been about. And I have to agree with Stephen that bullying is a serious issue, and you shouldn't just sit there and take it. You should talk to someone. Seek help if you can. because people really do get hurt with bullying these days. So it is important to address. So good job, Stephen. Although just trying to rely on Bible principles and on, things that Jehovah's Witnesses tell you, because it always works out, not necessarily, because there's a lot of people who have been bullied to the point that they take their life. So there's a little more to it than that. So seek help if you need it.
And they work across a wide range of challenges. In our next video, see how 3 brothers learn to trust completely in Jehovah and his righteous principles when confronted with persecution, immoral influences, and the snare of pride.
Proverbs 3, 5, and 6 made a tremendous impression on me. Trust in Jehovah with all your heart. When I was younger, I probably said, all right, let me try it and see if it works.
As much as I loved what I was learning from Jehovah, I was still leaning a lot on my own understanding.
Obviously, when we make decisions in our lives, a spiritual person, they review and think, let's do this Jehovah's way. And that was something that I had lost sight of at that moment in my life.
There was considerable opposition to the work. We expected, when we did street work, we might be picked up and taken to jail. But Jehovah's organization had explained to us how we were to handle it. I do remember when the police finally picked me up and they drove me down to Chicago. It was about an hour's drive. And they asked me, so what did you do wrong? So I had 1 hour to witness to them. And as I recall, I kept track of it and I counted the time too. Things didn't disturb us because we were being trained by Jehovah's organization. We knew what to do. So I ended up in a jail in Chicago for a weekend, and there was nothing I could do about it. So I put up with it. So I was home for a day or two, and then I went back to my assignment, and I kept on working. Left the rest in Jehovah's hands, and he handled it very nicely, whether we were in jail or whether we were not.
Eventually, I stumbled upon the punk rock anarchist scene, and this really called out to me because here I can be myself, I can establish my own standards, but that scene eventually led me down to a very dark path of immorality, drug abuse, drunkenness, and a lot of violence. I felt lonely, I felt betrayed, I felt nothing made sense. I remember thinking back on when I was learning about Jehovah and how simple things were. I decided to give Jehovah another shot. Reading Matthew 16:24 hit me really hard, where it says that to disown yourself. Because I knew that scripture, but I still haven't really focused on what it meant for me. I knew I had to let go of certain parts of my personality, of my old lifestyle. Never really given Jehovah a complete fair chance. And so I started applying more fully the principles I found, started trusting Jehovah more. Very quickly, things started falling into place. The determination that I had to serve him, the changes that I needed to make, changes that I never thought I could.
I felt that spiritual progress was appointments and assignments. I think pride got the best of me there. Very shortly after we got to the congregation in Brooklyn, I'm out in service with the coordinator, and he says to me, the letter came back and you weren't recommended as a servant. Do you know what happened? So I said, well, I think those brothers have some problems over there. and he said, whoa, 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 whoa. Stop for a second here. You don't need to tell me anything negative about the brothers in that hall. Focus on what you need to do, and Jehovah will take care of the rest of it.
Okay, so here we go again with the no negative talk thing. In this scenario, this experience that this guy is giving, I mean, yeah, maybe he was just bitter about it, and he's just like, those guys, they suck and they have problems. Maybe there was nothing wrong. But maybe there was. We don't know. He doesn't really express any more about it. But this other elder is just like, no. Like, don't tell me negative things. I don't want to hear any negative things. Sometimes there are negative things that you need to hear about. But the governing body just wants you to ignore negative things. Negative things being stuff you don't want to hear, or that goes against what you believe or what the organization believes. That's all the negative. They lose sight of the fact, and they obscure the fact that the negative is sometimes the truth. It's the facts. Negative things happen, and you shouldn't ignore those negative things.
It really did feel like Jehovah was just saying, okay, stop. Right now, you need to focus on you. And that really just allowed me to relax and focus on what was really a lot more important than whether I had a certain position in Jehovah's organization. The humility and the patience and the love and the adjustments that I needed to make being a more obedient servant of Jehovah, those were the things that were so important that I had forgotten about for a while.
All the time that I spent pursuing my own interests, it always led to disappointment. And now that I've learned about Jehovah and living by his principles, I have been having the time of my life. To know that Jehovah just simply wants to make me the best version of me and teach me to enhance my personality and to become better, that really endeared me to Jehovah.
Jehovah really cared about me enough to mold my thinking. It was kind of like my life was back into focus, and I was able to just relax and serve Jehovah happily. And then, of course, the blessings started really pouring in after that.
Everything I've done connected with the truth, I have enjoyed every speck of it. You might have some great idea, but I found out you do things Jehovah's way, and the end result is nothing but good.
You may have some ideas, but I found if you listen to the boss, it's gonna go better for you. Yeah, know what I'm saying?
Isn't it wonderful that Jehovah cares so much that he takes the time to mold our thinking and help us be the best possible version of ourselves? And what a life lesson from Brother Adams. Do things Jehovah's way, and the end result will be nothing but good. With success like that, why would we try any other way? Or, as this month's music video asks, to whom could I go away? Enjoy this faith-strengthening original song.
Okay, for copyright reasons, I am not going to play the audio for this song. I just want to show portions of the video for the song, because I want you to notice that this was obviously directed by John Woo.
Everything is in slow-mo.
Yeah. You got to know when to pepper it in, not make it the feature when it comes to the slow-mo. Anyway, enjoy. Okay, so I guess I gotta do the director's commentary to make this part more interesting since it's silent. So we got people hanging out in a field with bread and fruit and lemonade and stuff as per usual. because everybody in the new world is a vegan. Ooh, look at that slow-mo water. Just rolls off his back. Oh, here he is as a youngin' getting his specially bound Bible. Wow! They look pretty excited. Look at this here illustration I made. Aren't I awesome? Well, that's my talk. Good job, son. Alright, so here's a theme. I want you to notice something in this slow-mo. Next to the skeleton, you see a beast. You're going to see a lot of this beast representation. I think that's supposed to be a lion. So I guess he's going to be like, no, evolution's bad, it's creationism. And he's like, oh, that's interesting. And she's like, oh, he's kind of cute, this hippie girl. I wonder if anything's going to become of that. Well, look at the sticker on her notebook. Why, it's the beast again. He saw that and he's like, oh, you got the mark of the beast? No way. Step off. And she's like, your loss. And what do we got here? What's the green Bible? That's way different now, isn't it? Look at this guy. I think he was in the first scene. He's like, I finally got a wife. I'm gonna get some. I don't know why I'm making him sound like that. I'm sure he sounds just fine. I guess he's doing a shepherding visit, encouraging this guy that looks like he's not doing so good. And here he is at work, where apparently they got the Jenkins account. So come on over and celebrate with some champagne. He's like, oh, I can't do that. Whew. Oh no, it's the boss. Hey, come on. You gotta celebrate. Nah, I can't do that. Oh, it's a Mentos moment. Da 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 da. So I gotta read my Bible. I guess he was reading it on break. Here he is trying to escape, doing his football quarterback maneuvers to get around the... Oh, look at that. I guess he works at the office of Lion and Beast. I'm thinking of Mentos. Mentos fresh and full of love. Must be weird having TVs in the Kingdom Halls now. I never got to experience that. Oh, let's see what's going on here. Oh, he got old. This is a human heart, and as you can see, it contains blood, which we've represented here, and you need that in order to live. Oh, look, it's sponsored by Beast Corps. Beast Corps Medical. It's like, oh, hell no. So I'm gonna go hang out at this cart. Oh, fascinating. Yeah, I remember when I was old. Yeah. I remember when I got married. Oh, yeah, I remember that too. Yeah. I remember when I was a hippie. Yeah. Yeah.
Certainly, that's how we all feel. Never do we want to stray from the great shepherd Jesus Christ as he leads us through the end of this troubled system of things.
Don't you love how they tell you how you feel? Certainly we feel this way. Definitely. We all feel this way. Yes, that's how you feel. Believe me, that's how you feel. Because if you don't, you're in trouble. Yeah, it's all control. All control. And is it any wonder that the organization is considered a cult? Because it's all control.
May this song encourage us to stick close to Jehovah's organization no matter what befalls us.
No matter what you say? Maybe under certain circumstances you should leave, like if you wake up and figure out that something's wrong. So there are some circumstances when you'd want to get out of there. You can't just say, we never want to leave, no matter what happens, even if we order you to drink the Kool-Aid. Stay firm and stay true to the organization. We command you.
For imperfect humans, unity rarely comes easily. In our following video, please note how the governing body has always worked to maintain unity in behalf of the worldwide brotherhood.
Okay, I'm going to not show this next part. It's just them talking about all the stuff that they did, with the governing body. It's a whole lot of patting themselves on the back and talking about all the places they visited and all that jazz. So if you really want to watch that, feel free to watch it someplace else. But I'm going to show you the introduction a little bit because I found it kind of funny. So here we go.
No, I've had an illness, but I'm getting along all right. There's a little tumor here in the brain, which the doctors are treating. And whatever comes, one way or the other. But it has been wonderful to work with you all these years. And I enjoyed it tremendously. And I'm very grateful to Jehovah I could come to this meeting and be with you.
Like C.T. Russell before him, Brother Knorr had an exceptional gift for organizing the kingdom work. That set the stage for the amazing growth that the organization experienced during the closing decades of the 20th century.
Nathan Knorr died on June 8, 1977.
Nope, this still sucks. I gotta speed this up a little more. Nope, still too long. Oof. That's better.
What striking evidence of unity our conventions provide. While the world around them roiled with ethnic strife, hatred, and violence, our brothers enjoyed a peaceful convention that rightly impressed the authorities. Our faith in the fine shepherd and his father surely is being rewarded now and will be even more abundantly rewarded in the future. Perhaps like many, you're still talking about last year's drama, Daniel, a lifetime of faith. What moving lessons and awesome depictions of visions and events from his life. Would you like to take a look behind the scenes and see what went into making it? Let's enjoy a tour of some of the work that helped bring this account to life.
Ooh, what everybody wanted, the behind the scenes of a drama. Okay, I guess some people are interested in that sort of thing. I actually like when watching movies to watching some of the the extra content you would get on a DVD or a whatever a Blu-ray. Can sometimes be interesting. When it comes to Jehovah's organization, I don't know, not so much.
The Bible book of Daniel is filled with imagery, visions, amazing scenery and architecture. All of it serves to teach readers about the times we live in now and how we can faithfully serve Jehovah. The team that made Daniel, A Lifetime of Faith, had to portray these amazing things on film. How did they do it? Early concept art was made to help in the development of the many visual effects scenes. The architecture and aesthetics of Babylon were quite different from what the Israelites were used to. The sets needed to be designed in a way that helped convey what it was like being captured. And brought to a foreign land. The production design and sets and props departments built 360-degree sets, which made for an immersive environment.
All the other wise men are unable to make the interpretation onto me. But you're able to do so.
Many costumes and props were carefully handmade for the production. Spearheads were hand-forged. Most of the filming was done at Mount Nebo Studios in Brewster, New York. Some additional scenes were filmed in nearby locations and in Florida.
You need to rest.
Hey, Mount Nebo Studios, huh? I was thinking, and I looked this up earlier, I'm going to put a graphic here. How close is that to Warwick? How close is that to Ramapo, where they're going to be building a new a new facility? They've already got a place with the recording. So look here. It's all within like an hour and 20 minutes, hour and a half's drive of one another. They're really taking over that area. But it shows you that they don't really need to do this construction project because the end is going to be here any second, as Stephen Lett reiterated earlier. So why spend the money? I think they're just bored, honestly. And it's more real estate, so eventually somebody's going to sell some of these and make a tidy sum.
Several miniature sets were built, including a ziggurat. And then actors were filmed in front of a green screen and inserted into the final shots. As filming was completed, scenes were edited together, and the visual effects team went to work on many specialized shots. Digital models of people and animals were animated and combined with footage of real environments to make scenes that would have been impossible to film otherwise. For example, a digital model was made of the immense image in King Nebuchadnezzar's dream. The team researched the characteristics of the actual materials described in the scriptures, such as metals and rocks, so that when the image falls, it appears realistic and believable. Just look at the results of thousands of hours spent modeling, animating, simulating, rendering, and compositing.
Want to keep moving. You've got to get through that door. Ah, that was perfect.
Perfect? Do you know anything about the film production?
Well, I like to think so.
Music and sound effects add the final touches. What do you see? Jehovah asked the prophet Amos. What Amos saw taught him important lessons. In the drama, Daniel, A Lifetime of Faith, what did you see? And more importantly, what did you learn?
What did you see? Hours of hard work? Dramatic visual effects? Bible characters brought to life on screen? Isn't it amazing how they all combine to make what happened thousands of years ago seem so real, so vivid, and faith-strengthening? Now, let's enjoy this month's postcard as together we climb the peaks of Switzerland.
Okay, I'm going to skip the last part because it's basically a commercial for Switzerland, and that's not all that interesting to me, and probably to you.
It's beautiful chocolate. Cows.
So I hope you've enjoyed this coverage of the September broadcast. It was kind of an interesting affair, and I will catch you next time. Please like, share, and subscribe and all that, and have a great day. Bye for now.